Hey guys, it's David here, and welcome to Hot Tuck Tapes, where I share my thoughts on RuPaul's Drag Race. And today joining me is special guest Daniel. Say hello.
Hi! This isn't a Fire Island recap review?
We're reviewing Drag Race, so...
I can do that too, that's cool. I am David Levitz's one and only superfan. And maybe, to all you out there, maybe one day you too can be sitting in this sacred studio.
We can dream. Just a little disclaimer, neither of us are drag queens nor experts on the world of drag. We are simply fans sharing some thoughts on the interwebs and trying to start a conversation with you guys. Also, spoiler alert, but why I acting brand new.
What was that?
Why I acting brand new.
Why I acting brand new? Oh, yeah, I see.
Who's after Peppermint? Who's after Peppermint? Season 9, episode 8, what was this title? The RuPaul Roast?
Oh, man.
It ended up being the Michelle Visage Roast.
Do you think that was real? Do you think she really didn't know?
I hope that it was a genuine, authentic surprise. Did they say anything nice about Aja?
I don't think they did.
One thing though, okay, because they glossed over Aja, I have to mention, this episode did not mention at all the pile of clothes that Aja gave to Nina when she left.
Yes, yeah, why that I feel like they kind of missed out on that. Like they could have gotten like a really good look into Nina's character, because so far, not the best.
You know, homegirl, it's probably because it was just another bitter moment where she was like, Aja was trying to sabotage me giving me her clothes. Aja was trying to trip me up, and she probably like put them in a pile and burned them.
Aja took my clown white back to New York.
Okay, so that's you know, yet another remnant that will remain in Untucked for people who don't watch. They just won't get most of the story. And
if you're not watching Untucked though, you're not really watching RuPaul's Drag Race.
If you don't watch Untucked, you're not doing drag. But we did get the Reading is Fundamental challenge, which was one that was like in high demand. Everyone was clutching their pearls, worried that it wouldn't happen. What were your thoughts about it?
I mean, I thought everyone was just kind of okay. What do you think? I've heard people talk about how like this is the nice season. Do you get what I mean?
The RuPaul's best friend race?
The RuPaul's group therapy best friend extravaganza race.
Untucked is definitely there, I would say. But this Untucked format in general caters to that because there are not two rooms. Unless the queens go out to smoke, they can't really talk shit. So, yeah, Untucked, they're definitely feeling like a huge support system. But they did well with the reads, I thought. Like, you know, I apparently, according to Alexis, they were too mean. But...
It's a drag competition. They're gonna make fun of you.
But
I'm sorry.
What
are you gonna do? And then like, she also made a joke about Aja's nose, didn't she? Like it's a bar mitzvah,
actually,
it's a whatever miracle, some Jewish joke about her nose, and like now you can't make fun of your broad shoulders, mama.
Yeah, the first thing that I even wrote down before Alexis was roasted or got bitter was once Alexis went, I wrote Alexis was just mean.
David and I both come from the theater world. David, does Alexis Michelle not remind you of so many people that you like, so many theater queens that you knew growing up who like...
She's a Broadway queen.
Mean well?
Yeah, no, it's just the whole like she takes herself really seriously and yeah, means well, but definitely it's the image of a true a theater snob, I guess, is how I would define.
And we'll get to the Alphaba Lunch Lady reruns later.
I will say, like, devil's advocate.
Go.
Body image is like a very sensitive issue. They've already addressed it on the actual show. And I can see why she might have, it just might be a sore subject, but at the same time, like, if you're going to be that sensitive, then how did you just go up there and be so damn mean to everyone else? Like, I don't know.
And where's the line? Where is the line between like when it's not funny anymore? Okay, so let's talk about teeth, because they came for Shay's grill the house down. So, is it fair to make fun of someone's teeth?
I never noticed that Shay Coule's teeth were that messed up. Or are they messed up, or are they just big? What was the joke, even? Does she have messed up teeth?
I mean, it's like The Walking Dead up in there. That's not very nice. That's not very nice.
Going right after, is it fair to make fun of someone's teeth? Clearly we know his opinion. Oh yeah, Farrah Moan did like a Ru pun. I don't remember what it was. It was like, your denim look was, but it was not that.
Your denim was...
Denim. Nina Bonina Brown straight up stealing...
Latrice Royale, right? Was that Latrice Royale? Body made wrong?
And it's like not even like an obscure Drag Race reference. Did they even mention that in the episode that it was stolen?
You know, they did not explicitly call her out, but I mean, the fit she threw in Untucked hinted that there was some shade talking in the background.
Were those new glasses? Were they new reading glasses? Have they always had the flags?
I don't know. Didn't Nina Bonina paint hers on? Did I see that correctly online that she painted her glasses on?
That was for the grandma.
For the grandma. Oh,
yeah. And I didn't even notice that until Untucked.
Oh, I didn't either.
Yeah, those were painted on. But no, not the reading glasses.
I saw someone on Reddit that was like, Nina Bonina Brown literally came with like a garbage bag full of wigs and a trunk full of face paint and like a corset and is like planning to slay this competition. Which, I'm a Nina Bonina Dick Cheney Brown stan, and I will defend her until the day I die.
Oh my god, this is not an episode of Paint Wars. This is not an episode of Paint Wars.
The Madame Tussauds wax figure thing, which like came up weirdly in one episode and like never came up again. Surely. They like inserted a Madame Tussauds like little commercial into Peppermint's reading thing, and it just reinforced my conspiracy that Peppermint is a robot programmed by RuPaul. Not programmed very well. I wish someone had read Ru. I love when Pearl, that one episode was like, RuPaul! And RuPaul was like, girl, like, I wish someone had done that, but whatever.
Valentina won the Libraries Open Challenge. She did well, but I am starting to feel more and more like the winners of these mini challenges are just like who they need to be the leader for the week. Although it's not really relevant to this week because all Valentina did was choose the order, but like maybe they knew that Valentina would somehow fuck the other queens over. I don't know, did you think Valentina did well with the reading section?
I think she was good. I'm trying to think of one of Valentina's jokes. One of them was,
I remember everyone put your hands up. I got one word, Shay, deodorant bitch.
Oh yeah.
Which is not one word.
Yeah, Valentina, I mean, again, I thought the reading challenge was just kind of mediocre overall. None of them really seemed like comedy queens, but like, as this show keeps going on, you just realize that what they're looking for is someone who can be on television, and someone who can give lines, someone who is funny. Like I mean, almost every challenge in this season is an acting challenge. And,
that's true.
Yeah, right? Like, there's, like, remember, like, in season 3, like, a lot of the challenges were kind of catered to Raja. Like, they were all, like, putting stuff together and, like, sewing and stuff, and...
We are throwing it way back.
Yeah, when I was 6.
So, okay, reading challenge is done. Valentina won for whatever reason.
Picking the order.
Yeah, okay, so we, another section where Alexis is throwing herself into the ring as like, I can do that. My sister went to dance class and I said I can do that. And,
oh, and she did not do that.
I will say I'm glad that they actually had the workroom clips with Ru advising the contestants, because usually that is left to the nether realm of the bonus clips on Logo. But they put that on TV for the very important reason that Ru called Alexis, snatched her balls.
Snatched her balls. Ru didn't care. I was like, did Ru take a shot before entering the workroom? Like, I guess at a certain age you just stop caring.
They totally edited in a shot of Shay laughing, like in the middle of. I forget what it was exactly after, but Alexis said something that was so like, oh, okay, and they just put Shay Koule in reacting as all of us were, and I was like, you know, I see you editors, I see that was entirely contrived, but I'm here for it. You're telling the audience what to think, and Shay Koule is your vehicle.
Rest in peace, Alexis Michelle's Twitter mentions. And the editors this episode were really kicking the crap out of her the whole time.
Alexis is probably watching this on TV knowing she didn't come off well on TV. Like, I definitely think Alexis was a prime target for them to just paint her in the most cringy way possible for the show.
Yes.
So I'm trying to, like, give her the benefit of the doubt. Because there are moments like that, you know, the beginning of the post-reading mortem, where she's like, you know, I just want to say you guys made fun of my body, that's all I'm going to say. And then they put in, like, a gazillion more quotes of her talking about it, just to emphasize, like, she said she was going to shut up, and look at how much she didn't.
Is this Valentina slander on your notes? Because I'm not going to have it.
No, I see Valentina winning.
As it should be. Ross Matthews. I love Ross Matthews, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So happy Ross Matthews is there. I remember watching him and Fortune Feimster on Chelsea Lately when I was, like, 12.
Wait, really?
Yes.
I didn't know who Ross Matthews was before.
Yeah. And it's funny, I remember, Chelsea Lately was this, weekly talk show on E! And it was fantastic. And I remember being like, that man sounds like a woman. And being like, but I love them. I don't know. It was one of the first times I ever really ever encountered someone like that. And I hope he has a long career.
Wow.
That was me being,
that's the first heartfelt, like, ode to Ross Matthews I've ever heard in my life.
I love Ross Matthews, man. Yeah, I love Ross Matthews. I also love Fortune Feimster. Funny lady.
Shout Ouch.
Shout out.
Seeing Ross Matthews in the workroom for the first time, he is so short.
I know. Did you clock how when they did like the hello everyone, Ru was like on the floor and Ross was like on the 4th step. It was cute.
It's great. Those Apple boxes, you know, that's what they're for.
I'm actually standing up right now on 3 boxes. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
We were just talking about not making fun of people's natural appearances, and here we are coming for Ross's height. In a cute way, though, so you gotta do it endearing. You gotta be like, I love Ross Matthews, but, you know.
Yeah, but he looks like a beach ball.
Exactly.
A gay beach ball.
I'm wondering if his height was the reason that he and Ru were so far away from... Who was it who was, like, on the couch?
I think it was...
Was it Sasha?
It was Sasha.
Yeah, they keep cutting to the wide shot, and it's like they're so awkwardly framed because I don't know what
Ru
they
was
were
in Lotsie. Like it was.
Go back, rewind it, watch on the wide
it.
shot because they cut to the close-ups and it's like, oh, they're having a conversation, and then they go to the wide shot and it's like, why are they not shouting across that space to each other?
I don't know. It was weird. There was also like 5 couches in front of them. I don't know, in between them.
To an obstacle course to get to give Brainy Queen some notes. So I thought that Sasha Velour was going to flop, just listening to the... I mean, we know by now that she takes herself super seriously. From the interview confessionals, she's like, now let me contextualize this in a history for all of us. Let me be your, you know, translator of the gay struggle.
She kind of made me mad, because, like, I think as soon as someone starts referring to their own intelligence, it's done. It's done. You know what I mean? And she actually she actually did a good job in the challenge, but I was really turned off by her, like, I just like to talk about politics and commentary, and I don't know, it was kind of off-putting. It reminds me to, like, don't ever talk about how smart you are. Like, that's not a good look. But she pulled it off.
Yeah,
she pulled it off for the challenge.
Yeah, I definitely was with you for the workroom. I was ready to hate it, and she ended up surprising me. Ready to hate it. So we get to our inserted emotional mirror segment, which we now know is a staple in the formula of the show. And we're talking about, this week, Russia and all of its issues with our people. We, you know, have a moment from Peppermint where she's talking about how she got stopped in the airport. They didn't believe that she was, you know, she had to take her wig off in the middle of security.
That's her wig. That's not funny. That's not funny. That sounds really like a traumatic... It sounds horrible. You know, that sounds like a traumatic experience, and I'm sorry that happened to Peppermint. I actually do think it's good that they have a little bit about these issues, because I feel like if they didn't, there would be a lot of people being like, this is the most popular gay community show we have, like, you should be doing something. And, you know, the Twitter account, the Drag Race Twitter account often, like, tweets out websites where you can donate to, like, people who are being oppressed in places like that. And so I do think it's important. Because this show does hold just such gravity in our community, and, you know, stuff's happening out there. Is it still okay? If we can make fun of rock, if we
just gonna walk in. Okay.
If we can make fun of Roxy Andrews being left at a bus stop by her mother, we can make fun of Peppermint being smashed ball in the airport.
I guess it's true. I guess it's true.
Whatever. I just had to get that off my chest.
No, I'm glad you like went and thought about it for a moment alone.
It.
I think that we can have good conscience about it. You like literally snatched ball. Okay, moving on.
Moving on. I'm sorry.
Well, let's get into the roast.
Well, you're good at and you know who's first?
Shay Koule is first.
Shay Koule.
So we get into the runway, the roast. We're like, you know, it's happening, and we were off to a pretty great start.
Yeah, she did good. She did well.
Shay Koule, unsurprisingly, I mean, this was not a shocker. I knew that Shay would like come through, and she delivered. It was really solid. I can't say that I was surprised though, and I'm not sure that that's fair to be like, oh well, she didn't surprise me, so she didn't do as well as I'd. But like, she did really well, and it wasn't, I don't know what she could have done to be like shockingly good, because we've already seen Shay deliver in this way.
And like, oh, maybe one of the hardest challenges in Drag Race is the comedy one, right? Like, that is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could flop in front of millions of people and it will never go away. Laganja seems to be doing fine these days, though.
I do think that Shay Koule would have won this challenge if she hadn't already won a bunch.
I think she would have won this challenge if her outfit was a little more...
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the runway. That's the thing. I never think about the runway out. Well, except for we'll get there. I prefer that they have some sort of opening intro to the roast where they either do a runway walk or something to showcase the outfit before going up. I know they don't have time for all of this, but like, it was hard to judge the outfits when they're behind a podium and we don't even really see anything but their shoulders and up. Mm-hmm. So I just completely blocked out most of the outfits, except for when they were doing a character like Nina or they were playing alphabet like Alexis.
I believe that it was a genuine surprise that, like, Michelle did not know. And to me, like, Michelle is wonderful because she's always game.
She's a pro. Like, when she went, we'll get to, like, the actual responses, but, like, when she was giving people notes, there was not any kind of Alexis Michelle boo-hoo, blah, blah, blah. It's like, listen, I know you were trying to be mean, but you weren't funny, so let me help you. It's like, there is not any kind of personal sensitivity inserted into it. She's just like a professional. And I agree. I think that it was a genuine surprise that she was the subject of the roast. Like watching it, I thought that, you know, if it wasn't a genuine surprise, she's a great actor. But just for her sake, and like, I'm obsessed with her friendship with RuPaul and their podcast.
I am as well.
So I'd like to think that like RuPaul actually wanted to surprise Michelle.
I think he did.
We'll never know, but in our fantasy world, that will be how the story is told. Valentina was after her, right?
Valentina was after Sasha, because Sasha said combines both looking beautiful and just standing there. And that was like the first time someone actually like really cut Valentina.
It was the thrill of just standing there.
That was it. Thank you.
Living. I loved that. Yeah.
I love that.
It was so good. I think that she did the perfect strategy, kind of like coming out of the, what is it called, the left, the off. What is it when you catch someone by surprise? Coming out of left field.
Sports.
Had it not been in Peppermint's contract, I think that Sasha could have easily been the winner of this challenge.
Yeah, I actually loved Sasha's outfit too. I thought she looked really beautiful.
Hat, the little like thwart hat. I don't have my fan, but I would.
I thought she looked great, and I love her drag aesthetic, and she's a true artist. You can tell. Those eyebrows.
She talks like it. She talks like it. You can see that she's actually intelligent, though, because she recognizes the way she's viewed and then actually, like, plays to that image she's putting out. Like, I do think that she's, like, she knows her identity, knows how to play it up, and I think that this was a really successful challenge for her. So,
yeah, I agree.
Good job, Sasha Velour.
And she got a good old jab at Valentina.
Mm-hmm. Who is next?
Who is next? Whose look wasn't the most stunning thing ever. Right? Do you remember it? You probably don't remember it.
No.
Yeah, it's okay. But that's not...
What was it?
It was, like, black pants with, like, a little... Again, I can't even remember it. It wasn't even that great. And her wig looked a little off. Just because Valentina always sends my wig into the stratosphere each episode. I kind of expected a little more from her look. But she was funny. I loved when she was like, RuPaul, you let Michelle look bad in season 3 and 4... and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, and she's like, that's your friend, girl! I love her. I want Valentina to win. Valentina, if you're out there, I want you to win.
It was a passable job. See, everybody's always coming for me every week. Like, you are standing for Valentina. I am, like, over the Valentina train. Like, blah, blah, blah. They're reading her for filth. But I will say, full out, this was not a winning... There was not a chance in the world she was going to win this. No. It was a safe performance. I don't think that, had the others not bombed so fantastically, she might have been near the bottom. But, like, they saved her. That was, you know, Valentina was safe in comparison. Let's all agree on that, please.
Absolutely. There were clear losers and clear winners.
True.
Trinity did that same character. Like, I feel like, why did she just keep doing this country thing? Is that...
I mean, it's because she's from the South, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I guess.
But, like, she could have been, you know... I would have liked if Trinity had gone, like, really dug into her conniving, evil roots of her personality and just, like, came out as a straight-up witch. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Just, like, been, like, fierce about it and not so character-y.
Kind of hiding behind a character. I don't know.
I think that she really, like, tried to get into the comedy aspect of this challenge as opposed to, like, the reading aspect. Mm-hmm. And it's also coming right off of the win where she played a funny character in the 9021 episode.
9021 Ho.
Truly. So maybe she was trying to ride on the coattails of that character. It did not work out for her, though. It's about all I mean, I don't remember anything else. It didn't
work out. It was also kind of, like, gross humor, which, I mean, like, no one's above that, but, like, it was just, like, it wasn't good. Peppermint, the producers fulfilled a requirement of Peppermint's contract that she gets one win, and Peppermint has been so bad this entire competition. I don't understand it. Like, all these girls were like, apparently Peppermint's a legend. Peppermint has 30 years or whatever, like, New York, hilarious. But that has not been demonstrated at all, except for a little bit this episode. This is the first passable look she's worn on that runway, right?
passable. Wow,
Passable.
you are brutal.
Passable. I'm sure she's really popular in New York, but like nothing is translating to the show except for this one episode, and like the jokes were not that funny compared to the other tragedy disaster messes. It was fine, but
it was probably more in the delivery of the jokes. I think the look was more than passable. That's like, the look itself I thought was like pretty gorgeous.
It was beautiful.
That was probably the Peppermint that, well, that was the Peppermint we expected from Meet the Queens because it was basically the same outfit and the same wig. But like, in her Meet the Queens, she was gorgeous, and she lived up to the hype, finally, with this look. Doing it for this challenge was interesting because, like, there wasn't a runway display of it. But she looked gorgeous, and you're right, the jokes were not hilarious. They were pretty, like, passable, like, oh, that's haha, that's funny. But it was, the delivery was very, like, biting and very confident, and it seemed like she was like, okay, box check, box check. Like, it felt like it was like, you know, it wasn't a swing and a miss, it was a swing, like, not a home run, but like she got to like third base or whatever, and it was consistent. It was the consistency of it. It was just like set up, delivery, and it was quick, and she seemed confident. They were ready to give her a win.
They needed to give her a win, or the contract wouldn't have been fulfilled.
Right, exactly.
But good for Peppermint. She gets a 5-year subscription to Squarespace.
Is that what it was? Or are you just coming for Ru?
No, that's exactly what it was.
Wait, it was actually Squarespace? They always, I don't know if you've seen fan edits, but they always put Squarespace on everything. They're like, you're going to get materials from the Squarespace wall. It's all like Squarespace.
And you know what, David? I want to talk about Squarespace. With Squarespace, making a website has never been easier.
She's going to make that website of all of that pink.
All that pink, those pink skirts, Barbara. What are those?
But for the first few episodes, it wasn't pink. See, it was very quick. People came for her jackets. That was the beginning. There were those like long jackets at the beginning of the season, or like coats or whatever. And she wore those for a few, and then pink completely made everyone forget. But she's like an outfit repeater. She's been an outfit repeater for like the whole season. So hopefully it's all onwards and upwards from here. I loved the hair this week.
The hair was beautiful. Great. The hair was beautiful. So let's talk about Farrah
Moan. Yes, let's. It was... Shit you not, I was holding my seat, like, covering my face. This was the peak of the cringe moments in the episode. By Alexis, I was ready for it, but Farrah, I was just like, oh no, you didn't want to be mean, and then you're coming for Tamar Braxton, Tamar, oh my god. Like, woo!
Farrah is a child, and that's okay, actually.
I grew to like Farrah. I thought I was going to straight up hate her, and, you know, by this episode, I was kind of sad to see her leave. But oof, she bombed this challenge. It was just not in any way. It was like watching The Office or like one of those other cringy mockumentaries. It was so painful to just, and I felt bad. I just wanted to escort her off the stage, like save her from herself. Every joke was worse than the one before.
And didn't you just feel so bad for her? Yeah, and Michelle Visage is a hoe. I don't know.
She knew she bombed though. When she like in Untucked, she came back and she was like, "I just suck so much." I just suck at that.
And so, I actually love that about Farrah. I don't think we've ever had a contestant that is that earnest about how much they're sucking. You know what I mean? Like I remember in the Kardashian musical, Farrah was super excited to be Kylie, I think, and she like totally was like blah blah blah. She was like totally forgettable. And she was like, I just thought I was going to do well, but I didn't. And I rarely do we have someone so open about, you know, just missing the mark.
Yep, that's true. And she's endearing about it. It's not like she's like mad at herself or... I mean, she is. Like, she's obviously disappointed. But it's not like she takes it out on anybody. It's always just like, you know, oh, bummer. Like, it's like a cartoon character almost.
Nina Brown. Did you think that she played it safe, David?
I think that Nina, when we're talking about hiding behind characters, I think that's Nina was doing that as well. Also, there was a lot of shade on the internet about like, oh, she stole Shay Koule's old character from last week, which I don't think it was. If so, it was not intentional. But that might have also been.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking of. Yeah,
that might have also been part of the Untucked moment because, like, yeah, you've got that BMW joke, and then you have, But it was not the same character. Like, she wasn't... I thought that at least Nina committed to the character. The jokes were funny. Those glasses were painted on and I didn't notice until Untucked. That's what I love watching Untucked also, because you can, like, really clock their makeup and be like, okay, let me... Because they get real close. And it's, like, HD resolution. So, yeah, that's when I noticed the glasses. But I thought that she did fine. She was funny. Like, I chuckled. But it was not like a home run. It was just, it was safe. It was safe.
It was safe. It was safe. Just like Valentina was just safe.
Right.
And that's what happened.
And then we get to Wicked Witch.
I was getting Elphaba meets Lunch Lady meets Mother Goose realness.
One of the ugliest.
I will stand by this. I think it was maybe the Serena Chacha is like spinning my brain right now.
Yeah, I can't. There's too many looks for me to say it was, but it was pretty damn ugly. I just don't. Oof. It was almost like we didn't get the whole story. Maybe they just cut too much, and she had some sort of concept, but whatever the case, there must be a reason she came out there green.
I know the reason, and it's because she said that Michelle Visage hates green, which I love Drag Race, and you love Drag Race. Did you know that?
I didn't. It was not a reoccurring joke. Like, Michelle's boobs are a reoccurring joke. That is a straight up reoccurring joke. The green thing is like trivia. That is like, and if you want to do a wink at something that is that much of a deep cut into the lore of RuPaul's Drag Race, don't paint yourself green. Like, wear green. And if she wanted it to be part of her look, she could have done something more subtle, like put on green eyelashes, green lipstick with some like green highlights in her hair or something. But like painting your skin green,
that's so much work for being terrible.
No payoff.
For zero payoff.
Oh my god, the green on her dress didn't even match the green on her skin. That there was clashing, the polka dots clashed with the skin.
Her like little her breasts were also green, but they were a different shade of green, and you could see. And then
it was like the green foam that you buy to make pads. Like when you choose between the beige foam or like the green cheaper foam that kind of comes apart more easily. But just that green. Like, they weren't painted green to match. It was just like, let me stick this green foam in here. It'll blend fine. And, like, you're on HDTV.
You know everyone in the workroom was like, oh my god.
That gif of Valentina doing her makeup and then spots Alexis' makeup. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that, no.
Oh, my god. You have to look that up after this.
I will look that up.
Y'all will know, at least some of you. There is, like, from last week's episode, a clip of Valentina doing her makeup and then she spots Alexis in the mirror and goes, ooh! I'm like, where is that from this week? Is Valentina in the bathroom hiding, like, crying because of the green? Oof. Okay, so we've got, yeah, Alexis's jokes were not funny. She was green.
What was that jersey thing she was doing?
Yeah.
It's hard. That's a really hard challenge to do.
But don't come out green. Why is that gonna help?
Pro tip, don't be green.
I want the full story. There must be more to the story. It's gotta have something to do with the fact that she was, like, a theater queen.
Yeah.
And, like, she thought that it would be... Maybe part of her bit was a more theatrical moment where she would reveal why she was green and they cut it for impact. Because I do think that her section was edited to be the worst it possibly could have been. Like, that was dead silence. Maybe there was a chuckle. Maybe she had a joke that wasn't completely horrendous. But they definitely cut it together to just be the absolute worst it could have been. It was, oof. She bombed.
Oofta loofta. David and I were both excited when we found out who was safe. Because there is no one I want to see talk to each other more than Valentina and Nina Bonita, Fantana Bonita Brown.
Would you say that you were a tiny bit let down by...
Yes.
It was mainly... Yeah, right? Like,
yes, I was.
I'm sure that they just had so much awkward footage of the two of them. Because I knew it was going to be awkward. That's what I was excited about. I was like, these two, these personalities, it's going to be funny. And we've got the shortest Untucked, I think, of the season so far. It's only like 20 minutes long. Mm-hmm. And their section is, 3 or 5 minutes of that or something. And it, yeah, I don't know. Do you remember any of what they talked about?
I remember, Nina asked Valentina how well she thinks she did on a scale of 1 to 10. Valentina said an 8. I remember they talked about, I don't know, you could just so clearly see the difference between the two of them. I really think in Untucked this time you saw that, like, yeah, Nina Bonina's, I've always thought this was kind of like a projected thing that people say, but like, yeah, Nina Bonita Brown's biggest enemy is herself. Mm. Totally. And yeah, their conversation was kind of boring.
There was no, that's a really negative question.
That's a very negative question. Oh my god.
She would never with Nina. Could you imagine Valentina trying to come for Nina and being like, she knows to steer clear.
Valentina is not giving the editors an inch for her to be seen as like a bitch or like a, I don't know.
There are those moments of like underlying conniving moments, especially the moments at the mirror when she's like, you know, you're gonna have to lip sync.
Yeah. One of my favorite moments ever is another episode of Untucked when it's the fur challenge and Valentina is talking to Farrah and she's giving her a pep talk and she's like, I'm gonna be that girl. Stop crying. Whatever it takes. Get your fucking iPod. And she's like, Valentina is here to win. Like, and she's so young though. And we'll talk about that when we talk about Farrah because like they're both, I think they're almost the same age. Like kind of in the way that Nina, I thought in the beginning of this season of Untucked. In the beginning episodes of Untucked, Nina was like this or like over there or like, and I think it's because she was just like, oh, I don't want to get into this. I think I could win this. I think I could win this season. I really think I could win this. I don't want to. But I don't think Nina's going to win now. And I think Valentina could. And you see some strategery and goonery and buffoonery.
I still want Nina to just like pull herself up and like at least be top 3 just because she's so unique. And I don't think the show has ever had somebody that was that unique.
I love Nina Bonina Brown.
But yeah, that attitude, it's getting old.
Let's talk about that fight. Let's talk about that. Nina.
Perfect time to talk about it. So the other queens come back.
Oh yeah.
The other queens come back. We're done with the awkward moment, and almost immediately, Shay and Nina get into it. Well, Nina tries not to. Nina's like, you know, just talking about like, oh well, I don't know. Some people are talking about how I'm unoriginal, and then Shay cuts right to it. It's amazing how like Shay knows what moments to be aggressive, because you'd think playing the game like we were talking about is just being nice to everybody, but she also knows when to stand up for herself and like get the crowd on her side in like calling some bullshit when she sees it. I think she's being very smart about it.
I feel like she is following a recipe to win this competition. I really feel like for example, she was like, oh, Nina, in a couple episodes back, she was like, oh, Nina looks down, let me go give her a pep talk that will be edited into something beautiful that I'll be like a mature fish.
And then Aja and Farrah like walked out in the middle of it, and Aja's like, you slut.
It was so planned. It was just so planned, and everything Shay does to me is planned. And Shay, like, you could tell that like Shay was gonna have her "No, I'm real" moment. Like, you know, she was gonna have a fight. Nina walked right into it. Nina also though was just kind of being stupid.
Yeah.
Nina was really stupid in this episode, right?
It was, yeah, it's sad to see, because, I mean, I'm sure even Nina in retrospect is watching this on TV like, oh, damn, I come off so poorly. The competition, I mean, these people are sleep deprived, they are not eating, they are stressed out of their minds, all these challenges happen in like 2 or 3 days, they can't use their phones. Like, this is a crazy environment, for good reason, because it's reality TV, but Nina does not. I don't think that people like that have the temperament for it. I probably would break in some way. I'd probably be more on like Farrah's level. Shay Koule read her. That was basically the bulk of Untucked.
And the best part of that fight was Alexis Michelle, like 15 feet away, is watching what's going on and then takes one earbud out of her green ear. That was the best part.
That is that theater person who we all know. She was living for the drama.
One of my favorite moments from Untucked was right before the girls came back in, and Nina and Valentina are talking, and Nina goes, I swear that you had like a mustache on yesterday, and Valentina goes, that was my lip liner! So rude!
I actually, when I heard that, I thought, you know, was Valentina offended? It almost sounded like she was offended in her voice, and they walked in the middle of a, like, it didn't sound like a joking, it sounded like she felt very accused. I was like, damn, is that the Nina Valentina drama that we've all missed from this edit?
That we've needed.
I feel like they cut half of the Shay talking to Nina argument even.
Probably.
Because that was like, the argument was at its peak, and they just cut to one of those stupid black and white artsy shots that they keep inserting. And
to a wonderful artistic shot of Hamburgers Mary.
So we get an artsy shot, you know, good job with your film major, whatever, now you're working for a WOW network. And
I think Untucked is beautifully shot.
Except for the transitions. Except for those transitions.
Choices.
Farrah Moan, she's lip-syncing against Alexis Michelle. And this is where we get to another thing that confused me about Alexis's look. If you didn't want to look like Alphaba, and you were green because Michelle doesn't like the color, why did you have a witch's hat stuck in your costume to use for the lip sync? This is the continuity that confuses me.
I have no idea. I don't know what that was. I thought it was like a
piece of her costume that fell off.
Yeah,
that was what I thought too. And then I went back and I watched
like,
it.
Wearing it.
It was a little witch's hat. It was a tiny little like party store witch's hat. And it is what it is. She did the slide split. which looked like it hurt.
Did they get the green off the stage? That's what I want to know.
She didn't paint her toes, or her legs for that matter, I'm assuming, so no, the stage was fine. Her knee, not so sure. I thought Farrah Moan did well in the lip sync. I almost thought there was a chance, before the Alexis trick, because you know that one, the second they like land in a split, unless the other queen does it at the same time and they get one of those duo shots, it's part of the stipulations that World of Wonder has to knock the queen who didn't fall into the splits. But Farrah Moan was like surprisingly accurate, energetic, interpreting the lyrics. I would have liked to see her win the lip sync, but...
I would have as well because Alexis Michelle did deserve to go home. They both did technically deserve to go home, but I mean...
It could have been double elimination.
I would have been fine with double elimination. I would have been fine because then later on, then someone might have stayed. And as soon as Peppermint is gone, the better. Just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Farrah kept slipping on the dress. I think that probably got, that probably got in the way because... at that moment, I was like, oh shit. Like, Farrah is tripping all over this dress, and Alexis is doing splits or whatever. But, yeah, Alexis' interpretation of the song. You can't be painted fully green and then also go for a camp lip sync, because then you just look a mess. But I guess it went in her favor this time. Yeah, it was sad to see Farrah go. It was sad on Untucked. She got all... I like when she counts the letters.
Yeah, okay, so I was confused by that. So does that mean that one person didn't send her a letter?
Yeah.
Who do you think it was?
Nina.
Nina, probably.
I love that Farrah counted them. It's like the popular girl in school counting Valentines. It's like, okay, let's see if everybody wrote me a letter. And, nope, there was one missing. But, yeah, I like that she kept her face on.
I liked that, too. I liked, I felt like she left with a sense of confidence. I don't know, I feel like Farrah did a good job for how old she is and how, like, what she's got. I don't know. I think
she probably did better than she expected to do on the show.
I agree.
Her makeup actually in the mirror shot, just with her natural hair, it looked good. Like, does she ever perform with her natural hair? I thought it looked like...
I thought she was going to say, you know what, I should like wear my natural hair more, but she said I'm going to keep the face on. I thought she looked beautiful.
Yeah. So, props to her.
Props to Farrah. I hope she has, and RuPaul said it in the goodbye, I hope she has a really long career, and I hope she's happy.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we have to see Alexis Michelle some more. But you know what? I mean, I don't want to be too mean to her. Like, it's hard. It's a hard competition.
The episode was already mean enough to
They
Alexis
already
Michelle.
did.
Oy. And, we're probably going to need to see her for another few weeks because next week they have their TV pilot.
And she's kind of good at that, I guess.
Yep. Every filmed acting challenge she has done pretty well.
Yeah. You know who's not very good at acting? Nina Bonina.
If she makes her because this is like their own TV pilot, so if she makes it something like really out there and artistic or something, then maybe they'll give her points for like creativity. That's the only way I could see her, because straight up acting a character is not going to work in her favor. I think that she knows that though, so hopefully she's smart about it and they give them creative freedom to create something that's, complementary to their drag. It's like, imagine if following through with the animal makeup, she does some sort of like safari thing where like her face is painted like one animal and her hands are painted like others, and they're like going through the jungle or something, like, I don't know. Or
watch her do exactly that.
I'm calling it now. You heard it here first. Valentina, I'm not sure how she's gonna do. Maybe she'll do some sort of telenovela kind of thing. That would be fun.
You know who this world needs more now than ever? James Mansfield.
Do
you miss Cynthia?
No. Moving on. We're gonna get her next episode. This is when they bring a queen back, and it's gonna be like Cuckoo Part 3.
Justice for Cuckoo. I will not rest.
The rest we're gonna leave up to you guys, actually. So let me know, what you predict next week's TV pilots are going to be, and also if you agreed or disagreed with anything we said, agreed or disagreed with any of the decisions made in the episode itself. I'm actually going to use a YouTube poll for, let's do the top 3, because I think that the bottom 3 are pretty self-explanatory, but among the top 3, who do you think should have won the challenge? Because I think that between Sasha Velour and Peppermint, who won, and Shay Koule, they all could have been winners. So we're going to link that. It'll be a card somewhere, and you can vote on who your top was. And if you like this and you want to see more of me, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button on this video. Thank you so much, Daniel, for being an extra awesome guest this week.
Thank you. I had so much fun.
Make sure to follow Daniel at DRQ95 on Twitter.
It's a healthy mix of politics and drag, which, really just go hand in hand, so.
Right. And other than that, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Yay.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Good job. That was so fun.
I'm glad you had fun.
I loved that. That was really fun.
Yay, yay, yay.
Do you think you have a video?